Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. It is player ratings, so I'm going to mix it up this week. We're not going to do the polls today, I'm just going to do the player ratings myself because I'm in a foul mood, so apologies to everybody there. After Liverpool were beaten 1-0 by Burnley, the home record's gone. People are losing their heads. I've lost my head big time on this one. I'm going to start with the goalkeeper, Alisson Becker, but before I do, I just want to say, that for me was just nowhere near good enough. When Liverpool go out to take the football field, you expect to see something, and we didn't get enough of anything tonight, did we? We didn't create enough opportunities. We obviously conceded a penalty and a goal and stuff like that, but there was no creativity out there tonight. There was just, there wasn't enough people fighting for that shirt and fighting to get the 3 points for me, and it just became so obvious in everything that we were trying to do, and whipping balls into the box. I lost count of how many times we just whipped the ball aimlessly into the box and stuff, and then when we tried to work it into the box, they had the men in there, they had the bodies there, and we were having just stupid shots from outside the penalty area that were just hitting people's legs, and they were just wanking it around the edge of the area, and it was just absolutely shite. And I said on the live stream then, there's no team in world football that misses the fans like Liverpool, and I think that's absolutely spot on, but there are so many other things that Liverpool did wrong in that game. I mean, the display was just so disjointed, and yet, there was a few people who you think that was a decent display there, like Joe Matip for me was sound. There was no problem with that, but I'm going to get into it anyway. It's Alisson Becker, and I've been doing this 11 years now. We've been doing Redmen TV, and I don't think I've ever been as pissed off, or that I remember anyway, coming out of a game, because we just shouldn't be getting beat to Burnley, and that's no disrespect to them. They played well, they defended well and all that type of stuff, but my word, we've seen this game over and over and over again for the last month, haven't we? And it just feels like, bloody hell, lad, score a goal, you know what I mean? Anyway, Alisson Becker gives the penalty away, doesn't he? I mean, Fabinho was pushing him at the same time. He comes out stupidly, gets nothing on the ball, gets the man, gives the penalty away and isn't able to save it. Other than that, though, he was sound. He made a couple of really big, strong saves, but, you've given the penalty away. Liverpool have lost 1-0. You're getting a 5 out of 10. Trent Alexander-Arnold, for me, just not good enough. Fell into that trap of getting forwards and just aimlessly hitting the ball into the box, and I don't know how many crosses he's had. I've not looked at any of the stats or anything after the game this time, just going purely off what I saw and what I remember from the game. And he gets into this area of the field so many times, and too many times he was making the wrong decision, or it's poor execution over and over and over again. So for me, that's a 4 out of 10 performance, and I don't go down to 4 very often, to be honest. I normally like 5s about where I'm at with these types of things and stuff like that, but that was a 4 out of 10 performance. And moving it on then, Joel Matip, he was sound. There was nothing wrong with Joel's performance whatsoever. In fact, he looked quite calm, and for me, he was probably our man of the match, and our man of the match gets a 6 out of 10. And Fabinho was probably exactly the same. I mean, I know he gets rinsed a couple of times, and, maybe he gives a free kick or a penalty away himself if it's not for Alisson. But other than that, I think he was all right. He was good in possession of the ball, didn't lose the ball, and stuff like that. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 at the same time. Andy Robertson's a tough one for me, because I thought, when he was getting into these areas first half, he was getting into dangerous positions, but there was nothing there for him. There was no cutback, or when he did have a chance for a cutback to Shaqiri later on in the game, then he picks the wrong ball and he knocks it into Bobby Firmino and stuff like that. And again, probably just a 6 out of 10 performance. They're the highlights, really. The 3 of them were probably my highlights from the game. I think Thiago had a tough out. I don't think he started the game particularly well. A couple of really nice tackles, but from an attacking standpoint, didn't really have that ball into feet, or when he tried it into feet, Origi would lose the ball and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to give Thiago like a 5 out of 10 for that. I just didn't think he took control of the game, and he started to do what we've seen this Liverpool side do for a few weeks, and that's just become a little bit obvious there, and he's probably looking around going, they're confused, like, the fucking hell, these weren't the Liverpool that I signed for, you know what I mean? This free scoring, amazing side that he's been promised, that he's watched from afar and really liked, and all that, and he comes in and he's like, what the fucking hell is this? What the fuck? Jesus, man. And Gini Wijnaldum, I think, it wasn't for a lack of trying. I mean, he had that one brilliant run, didn't he? He's darting through, he picks the ball out, it's sound, it's Mo, it's all that, and it's lovely. That was about it. Like, too many times he's on the edge of their penalty area. And this is him, this is Shaqiri, the two of them just stood up and they're like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, the pass is there, but it's so obvious. The pass is there, but it's so obvious. All right, well, I'll play that obvious pass then because that's what's there and that's what's available. And it just wasn't good enough. And at one time did they get their head on things when those crosses were coming in. And again, just really not good enough. And Oxlade-Chamberlain's exactly the same for me. He gets a 5 out of 10 as well. I should have done Shaqiri first, but I've done it in the order that I wrote it down. So Oxlade-Chamberlain, yeah, comes in on that right-hand side, has a bright first 10 minutes, fades massively, has a shot from distance. He always has a shot from distance, doesn't he? Again, not good enough. Pick a 5, pick a 4, whatever you want to do. Shaqiri, again, not for a lack of trying. Exactly the same as Wijnaldum was saying, get to the edge of the penalty area. I mean, Shaqiri was part of the reason that we were just wanking shit off tonight, wasn't he? And Shaqiri's there and he's just hitting the ball at people's legs. He's just kicking the ball like, I've got nothing else, I'll just have a shot at their legs, and they're a foot in front of him. And time again, you just felt like we needed someone with a right foot in that position to be able to maybe move the ball on a little bit quicker. Okay, so I'm going to move it on then to Divock Origi, who obviously, I'll go Sadio Mane next anyway. And another poor performance. Mane just, again, I think he missed his mates first and foremost. He's probably missed Bobby, he's probably missed Salah, but he probably looked at this like an opportunity where he could go and get something out of it without them to show that he's the main man. And one of the things that Paul said last week, and he's right, is that, you know, Mane just sometimes just grabs the game by the scruff of the neck and just doesn't want to let Liverpool lose or anything. That wasn't there tonight in today's performance. So again, it's another 5 out of 10 performance for me. And Divock Origi, look, I'm going to be dead harsh on Divock here, because I don't actually think his all-round game was that bad. But when you miss a gilt-edged opportunity like that, and you just become a part of everything else you do, just becomes everyone else just wanking it off around the area and not being able to get things done, you're going to get scored down. So I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Move these lads in, because they were obviously the substitutes. You got Salah, you got Firmino who came on first, and then Minamino who comes on after that. For me, Bobby got into the flow of things pretty well. I mean, he saw that everyone else was just having a massive wank fest and he just decided to join in and do nothing differently. He didn't hold the ball up well enough. He was dropping deep, yeah, picking the ball up, trying to move things on, but there was just nothing. We never really caused Burnley that many problems. I think he had that one where it sort of flicks off and it's a good save by Pope and stuff like that. But again, just not good enough with about 35 minutes or whatever from Firmino. So 5 out of 10 for him. Salah can have a 5 out of 10 again. He has that one shot, doesn't he, where he tries to catch Pope off guard, tries to get him in the near post, but he probably should have bent it to the far post, and maybe the game ends differently if that's the case. I think it probably does. But again, not good enough, and we're badly lacking confidence at the moment. It looks like it looks like people understand how to defend us, and that's the biggest concern that I've got right now, is that we're not really doing anything differently. We're just trying the same thing over and over and over again, and we're not seeing any different results. In fact, the result today got worse. You know, we've lost that home record. And Minamino, I'm going to give him a 6 because he didn't do fuck all, but he didn't do anything bad, which was a change from everybody else that was on the field tonight. Anyway, I'm going to get into some of your comments and stuff like that. I'd give Salah a 6. It was Naxi, so yeah, brilliant. Tomato Super saying Klopp out. I can't abide this Klopp out stuff. This is ridiculous. Like, they are looking a little bit like that, you know, but they are looking tired right now, and there's obviously reasons for that, and the centre-back thing is a massive thing. The pace of Gomez, the pace of Virgil van Dijk, that allows us to play that such a high line and enables us to trap teams in and not get caught out on the break. You know, Joe Gomez sliding over to that right-back position to cover for Trent when he pushes forward. That's a big thing, but they're not excuses now. We've had to deal with that for a couple of months. We should be able to work something out where we get results, and right now we're not doing anything that gets results. But that's not to say that we should be sacking Klopp. I've seen people actually type FSG out. I've seen people actually type Klopp out. That's too soon. It's ridiculous. I mean, he's just come off the back of winning the Premier League with one of the greatest Liverpool sides we've ever been lucky enough to watch, off the back of winning the European Cup, we're bloody winning the World Championship, everything. I mean, that's just madness for me, I'll be perfectly honest with you. So, yeah, Trent was a 3, says Gulam Yakubi. If you want to give Trent a 3, you can absolutely give Trent a 3. But, yeah, I mean, it's just mad. Tom Rotherham Music says Chris is understandably being a bit harsh. I am, and do you know what? I'm sick of watching that game of football. I'm sick of seeing there. And it's just not the same. Footy without fans is absolutely garbage. Like, it really is, and there's just like, I got enjoyment out of that Man United game in the build-up to it. I haven't had that enjoyment before, since, you know, for ages. You walk down to the ground, you get psyched for it and all that type of stuff. It's everything that goes around the matches as well. But when you're seeing the same game over and over, and you're seeing a team struggling for ideas, struggling to put the ball into the back of the net, bloody hell, it's hard to watch. And yet still, somehow, we're one of the best teams in England. And I'm like, how does everyone else deal with this shit on a yearly basis? Because I can't go back to being 7th or 8th. I've tasted the good stuff. I want the good stuff over and over, and I'm greedy. Look at me. Of course I'm greedy. I want it more. I want it all. Just had a super chat in from Salam Qureshi. Don't worry, Chris, my G. We're not getting relegated, I hope. Stay safe, Redmen. Always provide us with great content. We'll get better. Trust in Klopp. Thank you so much for that one. I actually needed that, to be honest with you, because I haven't sat down with Paul. Paul normally provides a little bit of positivity, and I always go probably sooner than Paul, like, on it. Like, he's got this endless well of positivity, and there was a point actually earlier on in the season where I was the positivity, and it felt weird. It felt wrong and just bizarre, and now the natural order has returned, and my head's gone. I'm fuming at the moment. I can't watch that game of footy anymore. But it's all right. We've got Manchester United at the weekend, and they're in shit form, aren't they? So we'll be absolutely fine going to Old Trafford and trying to score no goals. It's going to be absolutely friggin' lovely. So there you go. Go for more comments then. Salah was scared of the ball, says Jeff Pepsin. I think everybody was scared of the ball tonight, and everybody was definitely scared of the goal because we got nowhere near the goal at any point during the game. We are going to Tonk Man United, said Jonesy05. Love that. Cyrus Naseri, he changed us from doubters to believers, and you all have to believe in him now because there's no reason to doubt him and this team. Yes, once upon a time, remember it, we were mentality monsters. That time seems like, you know, a month or so ago anyway, and I'd like to get back to being those mentality monsters. I'd like to just get back to celebrating a frigging goal, if I'm perfectly honest with you, but it is what it is. Jose Pereira, our attack looks like a limp knob, no use at all. Indeed it does. Indeed it does. Burnley and the streak. You're absolutely right, Mohammed. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. We're going to be live with the instant match reaction very soon. It's going to be me and Paul. I really hope that my mood improves. I'll tell you what I won't be doing, watching friggin' highlights of that match, because that won't improve my mood. Thank you very much for watching. Stay here and we'll cart you over automatically to the instant match reaction. Promises to be angry from that side of the room where I sit, and I'm not sure where Paul sits on it all, but I'm sure he won't be as angry as me. I think we may well have one more super chat. Tristan Bauer, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You're absolutely legend. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to Redmen TV if you want more unfiltered, uncensored Liverpool content. After Liverpool go for no goals in the next game. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.